Hi everyone, I'm Farrell and welcome to Bored of It. Unfortunately, it's not a clickbaity title. We are considering shutting down the channel. And some of you who've watched us recently might know that we've mentioned the YouTube algorithm, and it's essentially tanking our channel. So what this video is going to be is sort of a call to action. So it's going to be split into three parts. First, we're going to talk about what we actually do as a channel and the work we put into it, just to kind of show how much effort we do put into it to make things you want to watch. Then I'm going to go into what exactly is happening on the YouTube side of things with some examples, just so you can understand the problem. And then finally, there's going to be a call to action. What you can do to help us. Because to be honest, if we kind of don't get out of this hole we're in, it's not worth our time making these videos, which is what I'm going to talk into the rest of the video. So if you want us to stick around, please watch this video. But if you don't really care about the hows and whys and you just want to know how you can help, then I'm going to timestamp these sections. So please just jump to the how you can help section. But first, let's talk about us as a channel. We've been going strong for nearly 5 years now, and the whole reason we do the channel is to help people kind of enjoy the hobby that we discovered and that we really enjoy. That's why we've never taken any money from publishers, although we have accepted review copies for any of the content we've done. We have never had a Patreon. We've never asked for anything from any of our viewers. But what we do put into the channel is most of our content, our reviews and our buyer's guides, those are scripted content. So rather than take the low-hanging fruit of being talking heads, we try and make it something that you want to watch. And we script because it makes us, or allows us to be concise. It allows us to kind of shorten the videos because we respect your time. And then we also kind of do a bit extra in terms of different angles to make it interesting, and a lot of B-roll because we know you want to see the games, not us. But in actual fact, what this means is writing a script takes time, then editing it. Then when we film, we have to learn those lines, we have to nail them. We then do the different camera angles, which means more setup time. We take a lot of B-roll, which is extra filming time on top of all the kind of filming anyway. And then all of this combines into a lot of extra editing time as well. So we are putting a lot of hours behind every video when we're not talking heads, you could say, for you basically. And so it's something that hopefully you want to watch. Whereas, our time would be kind of 20 times less if all we did is sit and talk and then just upload that straight away to YouTube. But for us, we know that then it's kind of not cohesive and maybe a little bit rambly, and it will be more time to watch. So we tend to stay away from that. And that's just to show kind of what we put in and why it's really not worth our time if YouTube isn't showing our content to anyone to produce content, because we put a lot of effort in. So going into what's happening, essentially there's a metric on YouTube called impressions, and that can, in a short version, be said to be when it's shown to someone. So when you're scrolling on your homepage and you see it, whether you click on it or not, that's kind of an impression. And the main thing is that YouTube just isn't showing our content anymore. And we actually made a Reddit post about this, kind of in Reddit with other YouTube channels, and every single comment on that Reddit post was people experiencing the same thing. Something changed in February, and a lot of channels are hurting. There's channels much, much bigger than us who've gone from 20 million views a month down to 2 or 3 million views a month. Things to that extent, although we're obviously a lot smaller than that. And in essence, it's meaning that our videos are dead on arrival. Previously what would happen is we might release a video, and within the first day, let's say, we'd probably get slightly more impressions than the number of subscribers we have, which is about 11,000 at this point. And then you would start to taper off across that first week, and eventually it will only be found by people who are searching for it. Now what's happening is it's just not really being shown to many people at all. Sometimes across 4 days a week, we'll only have a third or half of kind of the number of our subscribers in impressions. So what that means is if we have 11,000 subscribers, at the end of the first week of a video being out, more than half of you won't have been shown that video and you won't know that exists. Whereas before, the metrics would be kind of like everyone gets to see it at least, and then, you know, it kind of goes and plateaus. So these videos just aren't being shown to anyone when they come out. And then they're also kind of dying quicker. For example, we've just released Galactic Cruise, a review of that game, and it's our bread and butter. It's a big, heavy Euro. It's a very popular game. It's something that people want to see us talk about. And after 24 hours, the impressions are less again than the number of subscribers we have, which didn't used to be the case pre-February. And on top of that, it's already plateauing in terms of who it's being shown to. And, you know, it's really tough to have that. The other element is that we have a lot of legacy videos, let's say, our buyer's guides, which are insanely popular for us. And they have continuous kind of viewing stream, let's say, and they're always in our top most viewed per day videos, except for when we put a new one out. But even these have dropped. So we're going to show you basically across the last year, our route buyer's guide, the impressions, and you can see that it's pretty much around kind of 500, 600 impressions a day for the last year. And actually, kind of just before February, it was doing pretty good. And then you see at February, what happens is it drops below 400 impressions per day, down to 300, 200. And for all of these buyer's guides, which have been stable for years in terms of what views they get per day, now they've all halved or even less, down to a third. So we don't even have the backup of our old videos anymore. And that's also really tough. So turning to what you can do to help, the first thing is that if you are a subscriber already, thank you, but please, please, please sign up for notifications on YouTube to know when our videos are released. And I know that can be a little annoying, but the fact is right now, our videos just aren't being shown to you. That's kind of the bottom line. So there's going to be a lot of videos we put out that you just won't know are there. On top of that, if you can go back for the last kind of 2 months and look at what we've put out, look at what videos we've released, and just see if any of them are of interest to you. Because those videos, you know, like I said, they're dead on arrival, and we could really appreciate you putting some eyes on that. Because for a lot of these, we've also worked with publishers, and then it hurts our reputation if we put out a video that gets no views. Then if you're not a subscriber, what I will say is this: 82% of people who have watched our channel in the last 3 months, they are not subscribed, right? So the mass amount of people who are watching our channels aren't a subscriber, but 60% of people who watched us in the last 90 days are a returning viewer. So there are so many of you who are repeatedly watching our content, whether that might be twice or it might be 10 times, that aren't subscribed. And if you can subscribe at this point, it might help save us as a channel, because you are repeatedly watching us. So you must be interested in what we're doing. And then finally, please just engage, like, comment, subscribe, sign up for notifications, share us with your friends, share us with other people. Just do whatever you can, basically. But please try and help us get through this, because as we said, it's just we put a lot of effort into these videos, and it's kind of tough because the views we're getting now when we put out a video is less than we got when we were in our first 3 months as a channel. And it's really tough to take. It's hurting our relationship with publishers, and our channel is just going off a cliff, basically, to be quite honest with you. So I'm sorry that was so sad, you could say, but please help us if you want us to stick around. And just to say, this isn't going to be a sudden cut of the channel. We have a lot of reviews that we owe for different publishers. So we definitely have content left to put out. But please just help us. And I really appreciate you watching if you've made it this far. And thank you so much for anything you do.